is up, everybody? Welcome to the Weekly Nerd. This week we have Tony Kaz.
Hello.
We have David Drucker.
What is up, everyone?
I am Sam Brush, and please welcome back Zach Abbiati from his 3-month firing. We suspended him. We suspended him for 3 months because he said the two Guardians movies are 2 of the top 4.
I still hold to that. A.
So we suspended him for a little bit, hoping he would come to his senses. Obviously, he did not.
Yeah, no one asked for this. No one wanted this. Yet here I am.
We've got a jam-packed show for you today. A bunch of topics. Kind of not quite rabbit hole like we did about a month ago, but almost in that vein.
But I feel like most of our discussions
are rabbit
like
holes,
that anyways.
right? So we'll get going. Let's start with the Iron Fist trailer.
Okay.
That dropped last week?
It was about 2-3 weeks ago now.
And we haven't talked about it because nobody cares, but we're out of topic, so we're going to talk about it.
Oh, come on. No, the only reason why it's relevant is because we... Iron Fist is coming out with the new season next week.
2 weeks.
Is it in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
See, we don't even know because we don't
Actually, you're right. I'm sorry. You were right. It's actually next week.
It is in a week. It is in a week and a half.
That's crazy. September 7th is next week.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
My birthday is September 9th. It's not this coming Sunday. It's the Sunday afterwards. So if you'd like to send me pizza or coupons for pizza.
His home address is...
You could
977 Main Street. No.
You could personally go and beat him up for all the things you said was wrong.
You can send him a pizza. You can send him a bomb. You can send him whatever you want.
You can send him a bomb?
Please don't send me a bomb. I live connected to a school.
What about a bomb on a pizza?
A church, a school.
A church, a school. That's great. But yeah, so
And
Iron
my birthday
Fist.
is also the 12th.
His is the 12th, so you could send him a bomb.
Yeah.
Send that to, what's the address of the school?
No. I live here right now.
We don't want to blow up the school. We just want to blow up Tony.
Yeah. Can we get like a point of transition when he's moving from one place to the next in his car?
Put it in his car?
there you go.
Okay, so we just get him to go to the school, but like behind the cafeteria.
Which is where he parks.
Right, and just
True.
and we just say, look, and just to be safe.
I drive a very nice blue truck. It's a large 4x4 on the side.
The Chevy, right?
Yeah,
Chevy.
Chevy truck.
No, but so Iron Fist. What did you think of the trailer? Zach, did you watch the trailer?
I'm currently watching the trailer.
Zach is currently watching the trailer, so we'll wait to ask him what he thinks. We'll start with Trucker. Trucker.
I liked it. I think it shows some potential. Now, I didn't...
You know what potential does, right? It gets GMs fired.
Yeah. I'm not on the fan group that says Iron Fist was horrible. Like, it's not the worst thing to ever come out. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good.
No, the worst thing to ever come out was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I will fight me, sir.
No, I didn't think it was the worst show that Netflix has released. I still think it's Jessica Jones Season 1 and Season 2 down there. And even Luke Cage Season 1 is a little low. Defenders is pretty low. But I liked Iron Fist Season 1 for what it was. I thought it was a decent origin, but I thought they could have done more with his origin. With the Iron Fist, with Kunlun, with even the hand. I felt
Which
like...
hand?
I guess the right one?
The right one or the left one?
Well,
More likely the right.
in Season 1, it was more about like the good one versus the bad one. But,
right.
No, I think it looks good. I like that they're doing more with some of his training in Kunlun, which I thought that should have been in Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought Season 1 should have been mostly him in Kunlun training, getting the Iron Fist, the responsibilities of the Iron Fist, and then ending him coming to New York to fight the Hand Defenders. That's kind of what I thought it should have been for Season 1, because then you'd get more of an origin. We didn't really get much about Shao-Lao. They sort of kind of showed him at one of the last episodes of the season.
Dragon. I don't do that tongue thing.
Oh.
Dragon.
I like it.
Thank you for understanding.
It seems like he's, with the end of Defenders, and this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen Defenders, or maybe you don't even
Nobody
care.
cares.
In the end of Defenders, Daredevil, everyone thinks
Dies.
Daredevil
He's
is dead.
dead.
Daredevil
Stabbed 8 times through the chest.
No, that didn't happen at all. You were confused.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think he was hit by like a rock or something. And
Stabbed 8 times through the chest by a stalactite.
It was like he got hit by a rock, and the rest of the team went, "He's probably dead. We shouldn't go back for it."
That's gotta be what
in his
happened.
defense, it was a pretty big rock with a building on top of it.
My point
Semantics.
Semantics.
True.
No, but he made Iron Fist promise to be Daredevil for him in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, he's totally not, because he's not dressed up as
well,
Daredevil.
I think it's
he's
actually
totally not keeping his promises. What a jerk.
Well then.
We should probably talk to him about that.
I'm going to call him right now,
Okay,
actually.
go for it.
Yeah.
Direct line.
Direct line to the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's going to be the tone of the season seems like he's going to be too busy being Iron Fist, not enough being Danny Rand. Mm-hmm. And Colleen's trying to get him to balance both lives.
So basically, what you're telling me is it's the same thing as season 1.
No, it's Daredevil season 1.
Right.
Or more like Daredevil season 2.
Which I am 140% on board with.
Can I bump you to 142?
No,
Can I buy a
now
vowel?
to drop it down. I'm at 138. Good job. If they're, I was just watching the trailer a second ago. And first off, the action looks
A lot better.
so much better. It's Daredevil quality.
They brought in the choreographer from Daredevil.
Oh,
They
that's so
brought
much
in
smarter.
Daredevil to teach Danny Rand how to fight.
And they gave
Thank
him,
goodness.
and they gave him
Because he
a
was
mask.
a horrible fighter.
Yeah.
And they gave him a mask and a hood, which I was like,
We're getting closer.
that's fantastic because that allows a fight choreographer to put in a stunt double.
Well, I think
Yes.
that was the
Yeah,
biggest issue in the first one was you couldn't have a stunt double because he
Right.
never wore a mask.
Right.
And so it's easy to tell a stunt double.
And I think from the trailer, he's probably going to get his actual mask by the end of the season.
Oh yeah.
Well, it appears that, like, in that scene where he's fighting Davos when they're kind of tied together,
Yeah.
that is, the costumes both of them are wearing are very similar to the Iron
And
Fist costume.
I think they're similar in the comics too.
Yes, very similar. So let's ask this question. Davos obviously has a red fist. Drucker's under the impression, he believes that it's stolen, that he takes the Iron Fist from Danny and uses it. Do you guys think he takes it? Do you think it's a mockery of the Iron Fist, maybe an evil, putting quotes around evil, Iron Fist, or do you think that he actually steals it from him, and then we have that quintessential trope of the hero loses something and they have to overcome that thing and prove that they are who they are even without their weapon?
Sure.
Because I kind of don't want that to happen. That happens all the time.
Well, it happened especially in Infinity War with Iron Man and Spider-Man and all those other guys who depend on their
And
their
Thor
special
proved
powers.
he's nothing without
And-
some sort of
Literally,
thing
yeah.
in his
Well,
hand.
he must have forgot what happened at the end of
But
Ragnarok.
even at the end of Ragnarok, he's using swords to channel his lightning. So it's not, he needs it.
Well, I would argue that the whole point was that he needed a weapon that could hurt Thanos, and he couldn't just do it with electricity.
Sure he
needed.
could.
Well, apparently you're
Prove to
wrong.
me he can't. We never saw him.
He probably tried. I would say that he probably tried the
How
first
do you
time.
channel lightning just in space? There's nothing there.
I mean, they were
Technically,
in. They
he did
were
it with
in.
Hela.
Yeah, and also they were in
True.
a spaceship with oxygen and people. So.
And space.
So he
also, I
channels
found
the
out.
people.
I found out. Gareth. No, not Gareth Edwards. Frick. The director of the first Thor movie was one of the Dead Asgardians.
Good. He deserved to die.
I liked the first Thor movie. So
This is why Zach left for so long.
I'll just leave. I'll just go.
No. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen there? Because really, there's only those two options: that it's a mockery fist, or that he literally steals it, and that's why it's red because it's not truly his.
I think it'd be interesting. I think if
Does he get another dragon and kills that dragon?
There's more than one. Well, I guess there are more than one.
There is
dragons.
more than one dragon.
Which I mean, if
Throughout
that's the
history,
case, good for him.
Of course.
And here's another question that we can answer because we haven't answered that first one yet. So I'm just going to keep throwing out questions.
Sure.
Is the fight between Danny and Davos? Is it looking back, or is that something that happened?
I think the
'Cause
one
I kind of think it's the one where they're tied together. I kind of think that's looking back.
I think so, too.
Kunlun,
Yeah.
while they're training.
Yeah.
More
I
so
think
than-
you see a lot more of Kunlun in this. I think you see some more of the origin.
Well, since it was dead.
And Tony, I think you mentioned this to me. There was rumor of one of the Iron Fists that came before him being in this,
Yes.
Yeah.
Being his
especially
mentor?
being mentors and trainers. And,
which I think it would be interesting if it's about him.
it's stick.
If he's
Yeah.
too
No, stop the stick.
if he's been Iron Fist too much and he's relying on being Iron Fist,
Sure.
he loses the power. Now he turns to the mentor to help him be
So
a better
again,
Iron
that
Fist.
redevelop
classic
his
trope
chi
that
and-
that no one wants.
I think it would actually be interesting for the character.
I kind of really think that if that's the route they go, I will find it incredibly boring. I will literally sit there. If they go, he steals the Iron Fist, and now Danny has to learn how to be Iron Fist without having the Iron Fist. I will literally go,
But
you've got to be kidding
Here's
me.
the thing with that. It should have been the first movie.
Right. If you're going to do that, you've got to do it earlier.
But
than
it
that.
kind of was because he spent the whole first season going, I don't remember how to use this. Something about drugs and my chi. And he's like, oh yeah, now I remember. And every problem solved by just punching things. And
That's not true.
that
Every
was the
problem
first.
is not solved by punching things.
You're a pastor,
Only with the
right?
glowing fist.
So anyway,
No, but I mean, even in the first series, it was a lot of bad choreography with just bad acting, and I don't want to say that as because you did like the first series. I didn't like the first series going into it. I put it one step above Jessica Jones, which I absolutely hated.
yeah.
But to be perfectly honest, like it was put together so poorly that they never introduced a dragon. They never showed how he really got his powers, and never explained what his extent of powers was.
True. Now let's ask this. Tons of questions that were arisen from this trailer, in my mind. So the last we actually saw of Danny Rand is in Luke Cage season 2,
Yep.
and he's very calm. It looks like he's finally learned. And then I watched
How
this
to fight.
trailer,
How to fight too.
and it totally looks like he completely forgot everything he teaches Luke Cage in
No,
season 2.
I don't think so. I think that goes along the lines is he's protecting Hell's Kitchen for Daredevil.
Right, but it
in
looks
his
like
place.
in Luke Cage season 2, we see he's a calm man. He seems to finally understand chi and how that all works. And then in this one, it looks like he's just throwing everything out and is just going, I have to do this, and I'm hero. And literally, I'm like, what? I could be wrong. Obviously, it's just a trailer, so it's not like we know everything.
But I guess the difference will be: is he fighting for himself now, or is he
Right.
fighting for the city?
And my question is, are these things coming out in chronological order? What if the Danny Rand we saw in season 2 of
Technically,
Iron
it's
Fist?
taking place after what this season is.
Yeah. What if you see him and it's
My understanding of the Netflix series is that they do go in chronological order.
Yeah.
right? Well, I'd say
At
let's
least
see.
for the most part.
Yeah. It's only 10 episodes, so that's going to be
That's
fun to
another
go
really
through.
great-
I think that's a huge point.
Yeah.
I think our criticism of most of the seasons, even a little bit with Daredevil season 2, the last episode could have been cut down a little bit. All the seasons have really struggled with content, with too much content.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, not enough
Not
content
enough.
and too many episodes. So I think cutting it down to 10 is going to help a lot with your storytelling.
Huge.
You're not. Here's the thing that
And
upsets
it's
me.
easier to binge watch also.
It is. Well,
I can do it in a day.
it was in Luke
You
Cage
probably
season,
shouldn't.
Yeah.
but you probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we probably all will. So.
Yeah. Well, it was in Luke Cage season 2 a lot. Did you watch Luke Cage season 2?
I watched
You
parts
didn't?
of it, yeah.
Well, there's a part in it, like in the middle of the season, where nothing happens. They're in a room for the
Yeah.
entire episode talking to each other, and stuff happens at the end of it. But
Is there character development in that conversation?
there's a little bit, but it's an entire episode where they're stuck in a room.
See, those are much of my favorite episodes. Like the episode in Defenders when they're all eating the Chinese food the whole episode. That's my favorite episode of the whole series.
My favorite one is when they all die.
That doesn't.
Daredevil dies.
That's my favorite part too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Actually, I love Daredevil,
I love.
So I think we can all agree that we're. Can we
Cautiously
say
optimistic?
cautiously optimistic about Iron Fist season 2?
Yes.
Yeah. And here's the thing too: the Netflix Marvel series, I feel like they're really losing their shine.
Because they've gone too long without Daredevil.
Pretty much.
That's
Well,
definitely
it's
true.
not-
That's the long and the short of
Well,
it.
it's not even just the Daredevil thing. It's just having mediocre and subpar shows.
Because they've gone too
Besides,
long
you
without
had Daredevil, you had Punisher.
and Daredevil
Cage.
season 2.
Even
You had-
Defenders, which the big thing you were building up for, was a
Wasn't
letdown.
great, yeah.
It was a huge letdown. It wasn't. It's not horrible like Iron Fist or Jessica Jones,
Right.
but it wasn't what it was built up to be,
Right.
and it needed to be better.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they should have had the Russo brothers.
Maybe.
Russo
Well,
brothers
they
come
were
in
too
and play.
busy with Infinity
Maybe
Wars.
the Russo brothers should just direct everything.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
No.
Better
That's
Sam
like
Raimi.
Joss Whedon directing everything. You
Like,
get
you-
the same kind of samey feel.
Yes,
It gets
but
old.
the Russo brothers have made the 3 best Marvel movies.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think that at a point you need that diversity. It's the spice of life. Because everyone loved the first Avengers when they came out, and now 10 years, not 10
I
years.
still like that.
Well, I
I do
think
too.
classic.
I thought
For
the
the
problem
Marvel
with Whedon was he tried to do the same thing over again.
Right,
They-
and that's
Age
the
of
thing.
Ultron.
But other people have tried to copy the quippiness from Whedon, and 6 years down the line, we're all going, stop with the quippiness. Stop with the
Yeah,
quippiness. It's
yeah.
like it's done,
Well,
you know?
here's
That's why Guardians 2 was. I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing.